Hello everyone, welcome to NFLMania, the new podcast brought to you by Clipchamp Sports. Clipchamp, will break down everything that's happened across the NFL. For our first episode, we will be talking about the trade deadline, about the rookies, about the Super Bowl predictions, about the power rankings, about everything that has happened in the middle of the season and before. Stay tuned. First, I'm going to start off with my Defensive Rookie of the Year predictions. And I personally think that the Defensive Rookie of the Year is going to be either Devin Witherspoon or Jalen Hurts. But in terms of how important the position is, which is a hot take, I think cornerback is more important, and I think Devin Witherspoon is going to take home Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now, usually y'all have a guest to argue with, but we do not have a guest for the first episode. Don't worry, next episode I will be joined by Cash Plays. Now for Offensive Rookie of the Year, if Devon Achane did not get injured, did not suffer that knee injury, for me this would be no debate. But I think it's going to be one of the rookie quarterbacks. A hot take of that, I think that if Will Levis started from week 1, the Titans would be a contender, and he would be Rookie of the Year lock. But it's probably between C.J. Stroud and Puka Nacua for me, and it's probably just going to be C.J. Stroud because Puka Nacua did have Cup injured for 1 week. And I've got to talk about, it's the only thing that anyone is talking about around me right now. The NFL trade deadline has just ended on this Halloween. So we will go over all those trades. So we're going to start with that the Bills badly need quarterback depth, definitely. They're going to acquire Rasul Douglas and a 2024 5th-round pick, while the Green Bay Packers acquire a 2024 3rd-round pick. I personally think that this is a better deal for the Green Bay Packers as they need to draft a receiver, and there could be I don't think they'll use that pick to draft a receiver, but they could help trade up if they get another good star player. I think they could get one soon. Another deal is that another useful wideout for the Lions. The Detroit Lions acquire Donovan Peoples-Jones, and the Cleveland Browns acquire a 2025 6th-round pick. Peoples-Jones did not have 1,000 yards receiving last year, but I still believe that this is a terrible trade for the Cleveland Browns. The Detroit Lions, that's pretty good. They're getting another young receiver. And the 49ers are about to get even scarier. They've just added Chase Young from the Washington Commanders. He was a part of a star-studded defense last year and 2020. So the 49ers acquire edge Chase Young, and then the Commanders will get a 2024 3rd-round pick. I think this is a terrible deal for the Commanders. So, yeah, the 49ers definitely have the better side on that deal. I don't know why that was ever accepted. The Jaguars are going to get some interior offensive line. They're going to get Ezra Cleveland, while the Vikings get a 6th-round pick. I don't really like this for the Vikings. It's decent. But he wouldn't just be a free agent, so at least the Vikings got something, so it's okay. And the Jaguars fill a much-needed position. The Vikings are going to get a 2023 starter fill-in for Kirk Cousins, although it's not a true starting caliber quarterback. He's been doing good. So the Vikings acquire Joshua Dobbs and a 2024 7th-round pick, where the Cardinals acquire a 2024 6th-round pick, which I think is good for the Cardinals. They want to get as much picks as possible because those picks for them will turn to very high value picks. I like this better for the Cardinals, in my opinion. And now Clayton Tune is going to have to come in. I still like this for the Cardinals. They're definitely tanking. And then And then another Washington Commanders edge is lost. Yeah, they're going full rebuild mode, apparently, with Dan Snyder out. The Chicago Bears will take Montez Sweat away, and the Commanders will acquire a 2024 second-round pick, which can turn into a really good pass rusher, as it is a hot position in college football right now. So I love this trade for the Commanders, and that'll make some space in salary cap if they want to make free agency moves for defense. And then the Seahawks, just a lot of defensive moves today. The Seahawks acquire Leonard Williams, and the New Yorks will acquire a 2024 second-round pick and a 2025 fifth-round pick. I love this trade for both teams. This was like an A and A+. It was incredible. And then the Eagles. Why do the Titans feed the Eagles? First A.J. Brown, and now the Eagles are acquiring safety Kevin Byard in a safety trade because the Titans will acquire Terrell Edmunds, and Kevin Byard is way better than Terrell Edmunds. No offense. And a 2024 fifth-round pick and a 2024 sixth-round pick. There are some injuries on this Eagles defense, I believe. This is a great trade for the Eagles, switching out safeties. And then the Chiefs are going to get back McCole Hardman and a 2025 seventh-round pick, while the Jets are just going to take a 2025 sixth-round pick. This is, I guess, it's okay for the Jets. I mean, I'd say it's better due to the fact that they have some pretty good receivers. Like, they have a lot of Packers that Rodgers will love to throw to, and that young stud Garrett Wilson. Alright, so that's always good. And then our next trade is between the Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons, just another defensive lineman. Kentavious Street and 2025 7th-round draft pick go to the Atlanta Falcons, while Philadelphia will acquire a 2024 6th-round draft pick. And Street is basically trading Jarrett Insurance, who tore his ACL against the Titans on Sunday, ending his season. I like this for the Falcons. That's some much-needed position fill-in they need. And so yeah, those are pretty much all the big trade deadlines that have happened. And now we're going to talk about some interesting trends that you haven't thought about. So here's one that you in Cincinnati or Bengals fans might not expect. All your 4 wins have came against NFC West teams, each of which you only play once a year because you're already done with them. So at this rate, you won't get another win. But obviously that's going to change eventually. But yeah, the Bengals are 0-3 against non-NFC West teams, which is crazier because that's the 49ers and Seahawks taken down. The Cardinals is relatively easy. The Rams are okay, I guess. But yeah, that is just a shock that I did not realize. Another, bad trend this year is, I'm not sure if this is normal, but I feel like a lot of quarterbacks are being injured. Like, Kirk Cousins went down with an ACL injury against the Packers in a 24-10 win. That's nothing but bittersweet for them. Now they got Josh Dobbs and Jared Hall. I'm still yet to know who's the starter, but I believe it would be Joshua Dobbs. Obviously, Rodgers went down on his 4th play as a New York Jet. His only highlight was probably carrying out the flag, but I expect a return, which is incredible for him. He's older as well. It's just insane how he's recovering this quickly. He did use some special medication. It's still incredible for someone in their 40s. I did not see it coming. We had Justin Fields go down. That's terrible for them as well. We had Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor go down, which brings the Giants to a quarterback position, the death that they would not like, as they did not have the best quarterback in the Battle of New Jersey, East Rutherford, or New York, whatever you want to call it, in a loss with the Jets. Speaking of that loss with the Jets, we're going to overview how the Jets pulled off that last-second miracle at the end of regulation, and then made the field goal to win the game. Stay tuned to find more about that. All right. So what happened was there's about 28 there's about 58 seconds. My dad and I are watching this together. The Giants decide to kneel it, and now there's 28 seconds. The Jets have no timeout, so there's 28 seconds. Instead of going for it on 4th and 1 at the 38-yard line, they're trying to kick a field goal. It's going to be no good because the wind in MetLife Stadium is incredibly bad. You can't blame Graham Cracker for that, also known as Graham Gano. And it's no good. So now the Jets have great field position, and they're going to go deep on one play, get out of bounds. Then this play where I thought it was over, Zach Wilson's going to throw inbounds on a slant to Alan Lazard, and I'm like, there's 10 seconds left. What are they doing? They have no timeouts. And they tackle with 9 seconds left. There's a huge mistake made by the Giants secondary. You're allowed to hold down for about 3 seconds. He just got off instantly, and they have 1 second left, and they spike the ball. It's incredible. And then they'll line up Greg Zuerlein, for the field goal. He nails it. Then in overtime, I believe it was the Giants who received. I'm not sure. Correct me on that in the comments if I'm wrong. But the Jets were able to somehow drive down the field, kick a field goal. It barely went in. I thought it was no good watching it live. And they won the Battle of New York. Yet the Giants did have to receive because the field goal won it. So yeah, there was your game. Our next game we are going to cover, or well, not really cover, but just talk about. There's some things we have to talk about, and this one is not the best. Vikings versus Packers, division rivalry, Lambeau Field, and the Vikings lose their starting quarterback. What's worse enough is because this was a division rivalry, Packers fans, some of these cheeseheads, were cheering. Yes, cheering a guy got injured. It's ridiculous how toxic you can be against a division rival. I'm saying this as a Ravens fan. I'm not that toxic to Steelers, Bengals fans. Browns fans, I actually really enjoy hanging out with. I don't know why. It's just they're not as rude. Yeah, but we're getting a little off topic. We need to stop talking about fans and talk about the Kirk Cousins injury. So this is terrible because uprising star rookie Jordan Addison, his season just might be over with this news. I'm sure Alexander Madison. No one's happy on the Vikings, but it's one of those bittersweet moments. Your quarterback goes down, but then you realize that you're going to get the ball a lot. So that's I'm sure he's a little happy to be more involved, but he's mad that his quarterback is injured. But we can't guarantee it's all Alexander Madison because they do have Cam Akers, who they picked up from, I believe, free agency. There might have been a trade with the Rams. I'm not sure who they would have given to the Rams, though. All right. And speaking of the Rams, let's just say it's not the best when you're losing a score-agami. Yes, that's right. That's the first time it was ever 23-40. I can cheer. I had CeeDee Lamb on my fantasy team. He was the best player of the week, according to multiple sources and Matt Mobile, so that's pretty good. CeeDee Lamb, just a career high in everything. Literally, he was incredible that game. Dak Prescott took care of business. Another thing I forgot to mention on the Trent's part, Matthew Stafford went down that game on a run. So that might have affected Cooper Kupp's second straight bust and Puka Nakua's disappointing performance. And then obviously, I think you've all seen the memes by now. The Kansas City Chiefs 15-game winning streak against the Denver Broncos and Patrick Mahomes' 29-game streak with a touchdown were both snapped. The Chiefs have not lost to the Broncos since 2015. That's when Peyton Manning played for them. That's when Patrick Mahomes was in college. That's when Lamar was in college. That's when so many of these good players we see now, some of them, like rookies like Puka Nacua, were still at high school. Yeah, that's incredible. The Broncos just embarrassed Mahomes. 5.64 points in fantasy is not the best for the consensus best quarterback. I did that with quotation marks in real life, but obviously you can't see that. And we're just gonna run through the next few games. Obviously, Bengals 49ers. The Bengals got done because they own the NFC West for some reason this year. All right, let's keep it up. Well, sorry, we gotta take a pause. Will Levis, talk about a debut. 4 passing touchdowns, 3 of them to DeAndre Hopkins. They were at a really good win against Atlanta in Music City. Also we learned throwback jerseys are OP. That's another trend I forgot to include. And we're just going to run through all the games. But before we do that, the Buccaneers should have gone to pass interference on that final Hail Mary, but the game ended on Thursday Night Football in Amazon Prime Time fashion, aka it was biased. All game they were saying how the Bills were expected to win by 94%. What? Okay, anyways, we'll run through them. Buccaneers 18, Bills 24. Jets 13, Giants 10, final overtime. Jaguars 20, Steelers 10. Eagles 38, Commanders 31. Rams 20, Cowboys 43. Vikings 24, Packers 10. Falcons 23, Titans 28. Patriots 17, Dolphins 31. Saints 38, Colts 27. Texans 13, Panthers 15. Seahawks 24, Browns 20, Bengals 31, 49ers 17, Chiefs 9, Broncos 24, Ravens 31, Cardinals 24, Bears 13, Chargers 30, Raiders 14, Lions 26. All right. Now we make our predictions. I'll just choose who I think is going to win. I'm not going to do the exact score. Tigers Steelers, I have the Steelers winning that. Dolphins Chiefs, I have the Chiefs in Frankfurt. Vikings Falcons, I have the Falcons winning that with Bijan Robinson. Bears Saints, I have the Saints winning that. Rams Packers, I believe the Rams should be able to handle that. Commanders Patriots, I have the Patriots as the Commanders trade away 2 stud edges. Seahawks Ravens, even though I'm a Ravens fan, I have to go with the Seahawks after what they did to the Browns. Buccaneers Texans, I'm going to go with the Texans. The Buccaneers are a little cold. Cardinals Browns, I'm going to have to go with the Browns. Colts Panthers, I'm going to go with the Colts. Giants Raiders, I believe the Giants are going to win it. Their defense is pretty underrated. Cowboys Eagles, I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Bills Bengals, I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. And then the Chargers versus the Jets, I'm going to have to go with the New York Jets. And now is the prediction you have all been waiting for. My Super Bowl prediction. Here's where power rankings get involved. Shout out to TPS. I watched his power rankings. I was jumping in joy. He has the Ravens at the number 2 spot, but they're actually a highest rated AFC team. So with that logic, if the NFL wasn't biased towards the Chiefs, then the Ravens will get the first round bye as of now, and the Eagles will. They'd mean the Super Bowl as of now for the power rankings, and the Eagles would win. That's why these Ravens are always tricky to predict. Only winning by 7 to the Cardinals is tough, but I think if I'm going to predict the Super Bowl champions of this year, it'd be the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, I don't think there's a question in my mind that they're incredible. The only team I see threatening that crown for the NFC right now, well, I'm not really sure. The only team I see threatening that crown is maybe the Seahawks. I think they'll make a run. I don't think the Lions are as good as people think they are. The Vikings are on a 3-game winning streak. The Packers are on a 4-game losing streak. And the Bears are on a 1-game losing streak because they just lost. So my Super Bowl prediction. Okay, it's not the Ravens, just so you know. My Super Bowl prediction might take a few of you by shock. But I have the Eagles and the Jaguars. And the Eagles will win that game. That's my Super Bowl prediction. And, well, we've hit our 20-minute mark. This is really supposed to be 21 minutes. But we're going to end it at around 20.5 minutes. Expect a bit of a longer episode. Maybe do for 25 minutes next week. I will see y'all in the next episode. Peace out, Clipchamp. Stay strong.